Some people online, including immigration lawyers, have been saying that you can no longer switch from a student visa to a care worker role under the health and care visa. And this is not true. I went through the statement of changes in immigration rules. I did not see that there. In fact, someone shared student visa holders can no longer switch into the care worker or senior care worker roles after 22nd of July 2025 unless they previously held skilled worker permission in that job. And they said you can switch to 6131, which is the nursing assistant roles. Now I'm going to share with you the statement of changes in immigration rules. Is good for us to just use that as a reference document. Don't just use anything you see that a blogger posted. Just go to the statement of changes in immigration rules, read what they said there so you can understand it better. If you watch this video to the end, I'll share with you some proof or evidence that you need to prepare if you want to submit an application. The conditions you need to meet if you want to get into care if you're a student, what you need to prepare right now. It's so important for you to have all those things right now so that you can have a successful transition into care if that is what you intend to achieve with your stay in the UK. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help you transition into the UK to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you'll be amongst the first people to see that video. If you're interested in getting affordable accommodation, bills inclusive, something close to your university, then you should choose Amber. Amber is a platform you can use to book accommodation, and they are located in more than 800 universities all over the world. They're also located in 250 global cities. If you're in the UK, you can access them in Leicester, Nottingham, London, Cardiff, Edinburgh. There are many cities you can see them, and if you want to use their platform, it's so easy to access. I'll show you how I used it here. One thing I like this platform for is it's 3 steps that you can use to book an accommodation. Remember that when you want to book an accommodation in the UK, is really stressful. These landlords will ask for different things that can be so stressful. But if you have any queries, any questions, they are there to help you. They have a 24/7 contact number you can call if you have any queries. Now, why not choose Amber today? I will leave a link in the description, and if you want to use my referral code to have access to some juicy discounts that they have to offer this period, then just check it out. It will be in the description as well as in the comments. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. New restrictions have been introduced for anybody who wants to switch into care roles 6135 and 6136. In fact, it states here on the statement of changes in immigration rules that if the applicant is being sponsored in the SOC 2020 occupation code 6135 care workers and home carers or 6136 senior care workers, the application must be for permission to stay. What it's saying here is that if you are someone in the UK, you want to do an in-country switch, that is, you are in the UK, not if you are outside the UK, and you want to switch to care worker role, which is the 6135, or you want to switch to senior carer role, which is 6136, the application must be for permission to stay, and either, I think that's the part people miss all the time, so that is either A or B. Option for A is that the applicant must have been legally working for the sponsor in one of these SOC 2020 occupation codes for at least the 3 months ending on the date the certificate of sponsorship was issued by the sponsor to the applicant. It says that if you're an applicant, you have to meet this condition that you are legally working. That does not mean that you must have a skilled worker visa. You can be a student and be legally working. You are allowed to work for 20 hours a week as a student. And even if they said it's full-time, let's just say I'm a student now and I complete my studies in September, my visa will expire in January. You can work full-time during that period. I know many people who have done it. It's not illegal to do so. You can be legally working. And what they are just saying is that you can work for 3 months, minimum 3 months, and it should end on the date on your COS. The date you should have on your COS should be the end of that 3 months, at least that 3 months. It can be 4 months, 5 months, no problem, but 3 months. So if you have that, that is a condition you have met. Still under this A option is that the date of application must be before 22nd of July 2028. So they are saying that as long as you are submitting the application before the 22nd of July 2028, they will approve your visa. That is what they said. They did not say you must be a skilled worker visa holder. They did not say you must be a graduate visa holder. Obviously, with this particular rule, anybody can actually achieve this. Whether you're on a student visa, graduate visa, you're a dependent, switching to the care routes, this applies to you, or any other visa routes. That's what they said. Anybody switching within the country. If you're outside the country, you can no longer come into care from the 22nd of July 2025. If you meet both conditions, why not apply? Do not allow anybody to discourage you. Please, if I'm wrong, just put it in the comments. Explain to me how my reasoning around this is wrong so that I can take some correction. But from what I've read, it does not make sense what some people are saying online. I know that some people can actually make mistakes. I understand that, but it does not make sense because they want to stop the abuse of the care sector. They want to stop some other things that have been happening in the care sector when employers exploit students or those on the graduate visa route, exploit them, and they pay for COS and they just give them within 1 week and say, okay, you're working for us. So that's why I will show you some things or explain to you some things you need to prepare as proof. That's what the government will use to know that that employer-employee relationship you have with your sponsor is genuine. Now, the other condition is that's the alternative one, is that the applicant must have permission as a skilled worker sponsored in either of these SOC occupation codes or the SOC 2030 code, that's 6145, 6146 senior carer rules. So this is for those people who are under the health and care visa, or maybe you came in since when the code used to be 6145. You came in since, no problem. That as long as you are already on the pathway, you can actually extend your stay or switch or something like that. As long as you're in the same pathway, you can continue to extend your stay. This is what it says. And it's not saying that there is a limitation to it. It did not say the date of application must be before 22nd of July. Because you're already on the pathway, you can keep extending your stay. But they said something about just be careful that the government can change their mind when they will put a stop to something like this. Is not indefinitely, that they have the right to change it in the future. Now, the next thing is you're a student. Your time is ending September. What are the things you need to provide as proof to be able to switch from a student visa to a care worker role under the health and care visa? The things you need to prepare include your pay slips showing that you have been employed for the past 3 months. Now, since they did not say it has to be a full-time role, I think if you have been working for them for a while, even if you have been working for 20 hours a week consistently with the same employer, you can actually provide that. Unless they change their mind when they prepare the websites, the government websites, and they now say, okay, it must be a full-time role. They haven't said anything. This statement does not say anything like that. Next one you need is an employment letter. That's an evidence that you are actually working for this particular employer. It should state when the employment start date is and the end date. And the last one is your employment contract. Remember that they will check that your sponsor is CQC regulated. That's carrying out a regulated activity. Of course, you have this license to sponsor. These are the 3 things that they will check. If you have them, provide them, you are good. The only challenge right now is that from the 22nd of July 2025, you can no longer bring dependents for any role that is below RQF level 6. And we all know that care workers, yes, the whole list on the immigration salary list, there are 3 lists now of occupations that you have to look out for if you are choosing a course to study or you want to stay after your student visa. There are 3 lists you have to check out for. the temporary list, the immigration salary list, and the skilled worker list. Now that skilled worker list, it's only jobs from RQF level 6 and above that you see there. That should be your plan A. Choose courses that are under this particular sector. Choose courses that you have skills, qualifications, and experience. That's what the UK employers are looking for. If you do that, there is this high chance that your ILR, indefinite leave to remain, or earn settlement after you've completed your skilled worker visa period would be less than 10 years. Now, there's this other one, which is the temporary list. They all have a time scale, and they have not stated the time scale for it. So these are occupations that fall under RQF level 3 to 5. And the last one is the immigration salary list, where we have restrictions and timelines clearly stated on the statement of changes in immigration rules. I'll show you page 122. You look down to the bottom, you will see that 6131, which is the NHS nursing assistant role. If you want to work with the NHS band 3, is a care role. That's 6131. The restriction they put there is that you have to submit an application before the 31st of December 2026. But if you want to apply to the 6135 and 6136, then you have to submit an application before 22nd of July 2028 if you want to switch, and it has to be within the UK. And another thing they're saying is that for the 6131, they don't want abuse, and that's why they're saying you can only apply for this particular visa switch if the organization you are in offers registered nurse roles, so that not all the nursing homes and all the agency care providers will just change their job role to 6131. You have to provide evidence that in this job you have, this particular organization you people actually offer registered nurse roles, and that's why your code is 6131. That is why they put it there. They don't want the level of abuse that has happened in the care sector. It has happened more often there than any other sector. So please be careful out there. Do not pay money to somebody and collect COS, and you think everything will be well with you. You are going to fall into a bad trap. Yes, I would say it's a bad trap. In fact, the previous rule that they stated that if your sponsor's license has been revoked, and then you can now send your name to some regional registered agencies or something like that, so that they can prioritize you. They will prioritize those people in the UK over other people. That particular option has been cancelled. There is no need for that anymore. These are the new rules and restrictions in care. I will say, yes, you can use care as your plan B, but now that the concept of having a family or a dependent with you is not there, I don't know what happens. Another thing is that from previous experience, when they introduced that restrictions on care workers, they said, okay, care workers can no longer bring their dependents, but because of this, right to family option, the people who had kids were allowed that time. So I don't know about now whether they will do the same thing and say, okay, if you have kids, we can't just send them back to their home countries and you be here working while your kids are separated from you. So because you have kids and you are in the UK, therefore we can consider you. I know that master students are not allowed to bring their dependents, but those people who decide to choose master of research, they can bring dependents. So this might be an option you might be lucky to have. We don't know how it's going to happen, but share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this? Do you think students will no longer be allowed to apply for this? Do you think some people can actually meet up with this? What are your thoughts? Share it in the comments, and please be careful when you are choosing any course. I will make a video about this so that you can choose wisely and have less immigration stress in the UK. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.